The Taliban have recently declared that bin Laden is their guest, providing he does not attack other nations. But bin Laden may have other ideas. What are your future plans?
You'll see them and hear about them in the media, God willing.
Explosions over Kabul, over Kandahar, over Jalalabad. The call to arms from the US Commander-in-Chief in the treaty room at the White House.
The battle is now joined on many fronts. We will not waver. We will not tire. We will not falter. And we will not fail.
15 bombers, including B-2s, on a round trip from an airbase in Missouri, 25 strike aircraft, and Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from warships and submarines in the Arabian Sea.
We are joined in this operation by our staunch friend, Great Britain. Other close friends, including Canada, Australia, Germany, and France, have pledged forces as the operation unfolds.
To the Afghan people, we make this commitment. The conflict will not be the end. We will not walk away.
Thanks to our military, our allies, and the brave fighters of Afghanistan, the Taliban regime is coming to an end.
We've destroyed an enormous amount of the military infrastructure of the Taliban.
The days of the Taliban are over.
Yes, the Taliban have got time, but their game of waiting is a game that will not succeed.
These Afghans searched for dead bodies after a US airstrike hit a wedding party. 35 civilians were killed and 38 injured. The bride is among the injured in Kandahar Hospital, along with other women and children.
There was no question of us withdrawing our British troops.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have determined that it is in our vital national interest to send an additional 30,000 U.S. troops to Afghanistan.
A US operation in western Afghanistan killed some 90 civilians. The US at first denied that any civilians had been killed.
I have two words for you: predator drones. You will never see it coming.
Listen to this 13-year-old Pakistani boy whose grandmother was killed in a drone strike.
I no longer love blue skies. In fact, I now prefer gray skies. The drones do not fly when the skies are gray. And for a short period of time, the mental tension and fear eases.
This war has taken longer than most anticipated. But over the last 3 years, the tide has turned. We broke the Taliban's momentum.
I think this country is a vast improvement on what we found in 2001. And I think our troops can leave with their heads held high over a job very well done.
Nigeria and Afghanistan, possibly the two most corrupt countries.
We will be deploying an additional 440 personnel to NATO's Resolute Support Mission in Afghanistan.
There's anger and confusion on this pine nut farm. The drone strike came when workers were resting after a day's work.
Don't the Americans see that they were just working and gathering pine nuts? Why do they attack ordinary workers?
The Taliban wants to make a deal.
There is no military path to...
Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That's not true.
The Taliban declared the war in Afghanistan was over on Monday after they took control of the presidential palace in the capital, Kabul.
We were told we were fighting terrorists. The real terrorist was me.
and the real terrorism is this occupation. Poor and working people in this country are sent to kill poor and working people in another country to make the rich richer. And without racism, soldiers would realize that they have more in common with the Iraqi people than they do with the billionaires who send us to war.
This is a major and a most embarrassing defeat in U.S. history. We lost more lives in Vietnam, but this debacle is more damaging to showing the failures of our institutions. The Biden team was busy making TikTok videos and feeding Joe ice cream. The Pentagon was busy studying white rage and planning pride marches, and a bunch of savages in sandals undid 20 years of work and untold billions of dollars. Anyone involved in the planning of this exit should be fired or court-martialed, along with anyone who ever reported that the Afghan army was in any way ready for duty.
The final departure of the US military after 20 years, and their Taliban adversaries celebrate across Kabul. Throughout Monday, as the evacuation from the airport continued, as a steady stream of transport planes lumbered off out of Afghanistan. Then, soon after midnight local time, on August 31st, the day set as the deadline for the US departure, the aircraft sounds died away. That we may be seeing finally the end of this evacuation exercise, and if that is the case, that is the end of the US military involvement in Afghanistan. Soon afterwards came the official word from the US Pentagon of the end of America's longest war.
I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan and the end of the military mission to evacuate American citizens, third country nationals, and vulnerable Afghans.
For the first time in 2 decades, there are no US soldiers on Afghan soil.
Afghanistan is known in history as the graveyard of empire.